Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for your ongoing support on Patreon, and I hope that you are enjoying all the bonus content, which is made exclusively for Patreon members. And I hope that you're also enjoying all of the videos that I've been uploading on YouTube, all of the live talks, and all of the other short videos I've been posting weekly outside of the live videos as well. Today is going to be the video for June where everyone voted on a film for me to review as a bonus, and what won was, drumroll please, Sunday Bloody Sunday, directed by John Schlesinger. I always have a hard time saying that, and starred Glenda Jackson and Peter Finch. Phenomenal performances. This came out in 1971, right after John made Midnight Cowboy. If anyone's interested, I did a deep dive talk on both the film and the book, the making of book, which came out earlier this year, written by Glenn Frankel. But the book really explains how Schlesinger got this film made because of the success of Midnight Cowboy, and it had gay characters in Midnight Cowboy. There was even homosexual sex scenes, and so that was such a hit that he was able to then explore homosexuality once again in Sunday Bloody Sunday. But in this case, it is not like what we saw in Midnight Cowboy, where you have hustlers and the gay characters are they are alienated and self-loathing and or what you had seen in other films where gay characters were always dying or killing themselves and stuff like that. But in this, that's certainly can happen and happens. Peter Finch is a doctor. He's a very successful doctor in England. He is out to some friends, but he is not out to his family. He's not out publicly. His patients don't know he's gay, and he's a very, very busy guy. He's constantly getting, even when he's home, he's getting phone calls from his patients, and he's always on the go. He's always busy, and he has this relationship with this younger man who's bisexual, and and it's an open relationship, which he doesn't. The only way he could have the relationship is if he agreed to have an open relationship. And this young man is having a relationship also with Glenda Jackson, and she's, in her mid-30s. She's been divorced. She's not very happy with her job, and she's also not happy with these rules either. But they both Peter Finch and Glenda Jackson love this young man so much that they put up with it, and you see how much it's tearing them apart. That they're not happy with it, but they turn a blind eye because they don't want to lose him. So it's really about the loss of love. And I was also quite taken with Peter Finch because he's pretty happy, but he has that monologue at the end. He's happy with his life, but he wasn't happy with his love life. There's a lot for the audience to participate in because you see he's a Jewish man, so he goes to a family bar mitzvah. And, he's remembering his own bar mitzvah, and people are saying, when are you going to get married? And he just, I haven't met the right person yet. And no one knows he's gay, obviously, but by that scene, at least in his family. And you don't see him at home torn up about it. You don't see him crying over it or really expressing how that makes him feel. It's almost like he's used to it. He's used to the hiding, and he's got his job, and some of his friends know, and you see how he's used to it. So it just brings you right into that world, but it certainly gives you a real insight into what it's like for a gay man to have to hide, and what that's like. But there's some interesting scenes with the young lover, and it's no surprise that he can't commit to someone because anytime there's trouble, he leaves. There was a party where there's a fight broke up, and he takes off. He doesn't even help Peter Finch with it. Same with Glenda Jackson. She's taking care of, her nieces and nephews, and he gets bored and, he leaves. He just doesn't have, he only thinks of himself. He runs an art gallery, and he gets this opportunity to go to New York. And, he's cancels a trip to go to Italy with Peter Finch. It's so sad at the end. You see Peter Finch, the whole film, he's trying to learn Italian, and then in the end, he's still going and he's learning it on his own, and you feel for him, right? Because he's not going to have the best trip without his lover. But you feel so much for the people, and what I love so much about it is that it leaves the audience outside of it, because, like I said, Glenda Jackson is more open with her feelings. It's also clever because you don't know she's divorced before she was with this man until about halfway through, until she goes home to have dinner with her parents, and you see a picture with a wedding photo of her, and then she has this memory of her childhood where it looked like she didn't have the best childhood, and then on top of that, she has this career where she's planning to quit because she just doesn't like it anymore. She even sleeps with a much older man just really to make the younger guy jealous, and it does nothing to him. Yeah, he's cool with it. He was cool with it. He's not acting. He was totally fine with her sleeping with whoever she wanted to. So there's a lot of, nothing gets resolved. There's no happy ending, and life goes on. They also both know about the open relationship. I mean, Glenda, and they know who each other are because they have mutual friends. And there's one towards the end really awkward scene where they meet each other in the street, and they don't have much to say, and it's so awkward. But what I like about it so much is, there's no closure. They still have these problems. He's still alone. He's still hiding his sexuality from his family. She's still doesn't have a love in her life or a relationship that she wants. She has a job she's not happy with. I mean, it's so true to life. I mean, how many, so many people are not happy with their jobs, not happy with their love life, or with someone they're not, maybe there's problems in their relationship. Of course, it's common for gay people to hide. And I mean, now 50 years later, obviously we've come a long way for the better, thank God. But especially at that time, you really didn't have a choice. In 1971, this is just 4 years after homosexuality became legal in England. So just because it's legal doesn't mean that people still did not like it or were uncomfortable with it, and who are not gay, and so on and so forth. So it's a really extraordinary film, and I think Schlesinger really found a film that spoke so much to the ordinary man and woman, while also really talking about homosexuality. And it's also the first time in a mainstream film for a two men kiss, and apparently Peter Finch and the young man, they have an on-screen kiss, and they have another love scene, but in that scene they don't show much. They're kiss a little bit and are cuddling, and apparently the camera operator literally was made a sound as if he was so grossed out by the kiss, and I hate to hear that, because it's so, I mean, it's so offensive, to be grossed out because two men kiss. I mean, give me a break. But at the time, I can see at the time why people would be uncomfortable with it, especially, as I said, it was 4 years it had been legal, and that was it. So then you see, apparently Peter Finch and the actor were totally comfortable with it, and it was offered to a number of actors who were afraid to take it on because they thought it was going to ruin their career, and some of which regretted it because it did so well, and they thought, what the hell, what was I so afraid of? But it's a really, really good film. Like I said, extraordinary performances. This is a Criterion Collection film on DVD and Blu-ray. It was on the Criterion channel. It isn't now. So if you have it, it should come back because they recycle films through often. But if not, you can get it on the Criterion Collection DVD or Blu-ray. Thanks so much, folks. I'll be in touch soon with more bonus content. I hope that you've enjoyed this film. If you haven't seen it, check it out. If you've seen it, watch it again, because this is my second viewing the other night, and I liked it even more. I think it's a fantastic, really, really good movie. Thanks so much, folks. See you soon.